before we move on to the next thingy, I have been made aware that I forgot to give you my opinion on some cards that came out. Bop. Because there has been new Visa support, and I heard some good things about this. I haven't read the cards yet, but I heard some good things about these cards. So, let's see. The Visa cycle continues. Visa Samsara, 1500, 2100, Fairy Tuner level 4. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. This card's name becomes Visa Starfrost while on the field or in the graveyard. Okay, that can be useful, I think. Means you can like basically you can normal summon a way into Lightheart. That's interesting. You can target any number of your Visa's monsters that are banished on your field and or in your graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it gains 400 attack for each monster with different names shuffled. If this card you control will be used as a synchro, you can treat it as a tuner. Okay. I don't think it's broken, but it's an interesting card because it does a few important things. It gives you more easy access to Visa Starfrost, which sometimes can be a problem for those decks. Also, the fact that it can be a normal summon, but also if you already have normal summons and stuff like that, you can use it as an extender. And it can be a tuner or a non-tuner. So it's a quite flexible card. Nothing crazy about it, but not every card in the deck has to be crazy. Some cards are just good for being like flexible. So this card's okay. No, are we getting Visa's Pendulum? Is the next thing Pendulum? Please don't tell me the next one is Pendulum. Oh no, I was afraid of the day we get Visa's Pendulum. Because, like, you know, Tearlament was Fusion, Manadome is Synchro, Reich thingy is, Scareclaw is Link, Kashtira is XYZ. We're still missing, in theory, we're missing Pendulum, Ritual. If they make, is this, okay. Pendulum scale 0. Once per chain, if a monster is destroyed, place 3 counters on this card. This card's pendulum scale is increased by the number of counters on it. You can remove 12 counters from this card, special summon it. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by its own pendulum effect. You can only special summon Veda Upanishad once per turn. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can banish 12 cards from your hand, field, and or graveyard face down. It becomes the end phase of this turn. Once per turn, during your standby phase, return this card to the hand, then you can special summon one of your other Veda monsters that is banished or in your hand, deck, or grave. Now, this is like a turn skip thingy, kind of a toxic effect, but I'm gonna be honest with you, unless there's a way to abuse this card in some way, shape, or form, I don't think this is good. Because you have to pull off 4 destructions to get this card. Like, you have to scale it, and then you have to destroy 4 of your own monsters in separate chains at separate occasions to get this card onto the field. Unchained combo? Yeah, but then you have to draw this plus. The thing is, basically, the question I'm asking is, if I play a deck that is centered around self-destruction, okay, and I can pull that off 4 times, right? Like, let's say Manadium as an example. You guys are saying Manadium does that sometimes, does like 3 on its own immediately and stuff like that. Okay, but if I'm playing Manadium and I can do a combo where I pop 4 of my little thingies, I'm already winning, no? Like, freaking, have you seen Manadium combos? If Manadium combos go that hard, you don't need this thing. Like, Manadium combos, if they can play for that much, they win. Lithium says it's cracked on Twitter, dude. I mean, that does not mean it's cracked, though. Lithium. End of turn 1. Set is the counter trap. As soon as your opponent uses their extra deck, it's skip your turn time. Look, the thing is, I hate to break it to you, but this might as well not be here. You don't need that. That's what I've been saying. You have an Omni Negate counter trap, a Dispatcher, a Barone Omni Negate, whatever this thing does, triple Appaloosa Negate. You don't need this. It's just, this does not have to be here. It doesn't matter. This is like the definition of a win more card, right? And this is like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a bad card, but sometimes cards, if you put them in certain strategies, they will like... What you're trying to do basically when you're building a deck is you're trying to make it win as often as possible. And so adding cards into your deck that only help your deck when it's already winning is typically not a great thing to do, right? It's not a good deck building approach to add cards to your deck that literally only happen when your deck is already pretty much winning the game, right? So what would be much better is play a card that helps the scenarios where your deck actually loses, right? Like, for example, I'm pretty sure that the pile that Lithium was using to do this is not very good at going second. And this card will not help you at doing that. Like, you know, this deck probably has like 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Ash, and that's it. Everything else going second, you just fall apart if you don't have Dark Ruler. That's how it usually goes with these type of piles. So this card, even though, yes, it's a turn skip, yes, it's kind of toxic, I don't love this card. Also, it's like, yes, as soon as your opponent accesses the extra deck, the turn ends. But there's a lot of cards that also just beat this. Like, Fenrir beats this. As soon as your opponent summons a Kashtira Fenrir, you're like, this thing looks to its neighbors and be like, hey, can someone save me? Anyone here got an Omni Negate ready? You know, someone here, back me up, boys, back me up. I need help. My opponent has summoned a Fenrir at no cost. So I don't think this is the greatest payoff for a card. Manadium Trilo Sugda. Light Fairy Synchro Tuner effect. Generic level 6. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target a level 2 tuner in your grave, special summon it, but its effects are negated. You can target any number of tuners you control. Their levels become 2. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. Simpros. Wait, this card is good. This card is great. It's Kit Kalos? Is it? Kind of. Thankfully, it's a tuner. Oh, yeah, right. Right, I was thinking, for a second, I was thinking we can just make, like, let's say we have a level 4 non-tuner and a level 2 tuner. We make this, bring back the tuner, make Axel Stardust, bring back the tuner, make Barone or something. But you can't do that because this is also a tuner. It's still a very good card. Especially, like, your guys are thinking about it in, like, generic thingies, but this is, like, in Manadium and whatnot, but this is also just good in, like, any synchro strategy, really, right? The new Visas, the new Manadium synchro can use 2 tuners. Yeah, I remember that one. That had, like, that condition, yeah. Synchron, for example. Yeah, Synchron. I mean, Synchron, I'm pretty sure Synchron likes this card. Runic Synchro likes this card. I'm not sure if they become a thing because of it. I'm not sure if these decks will become a thing because of it, but you know, solid card. This card, I think at some point this will see play. This is a solid card. Planetary Elegy. Normal spell. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Add a Veda monster from your deck to your hand. Veda, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the only one we know so far, right? I have never heard of this before. I've never heard of this before, right? One other one, but also in here? Or where? Oh, older. Okay. Okay. It's okay. Add one from your deck to your hand. If a face-up tuner you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect while this card's in your grave, you can banish this card, target one of those destroyed monsters, add it to your hand. This is a very good card. We don't have to talk about it. This is a Rhoda. This is a Rhoda plus bonus effect. We like nothing. There's nothing really worth talking about here. If Vedas are good, this card is good. Easy. Planetary Oilogy. Quick play spell. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target a monster you control and an effect monster your opponent controls. Destroy that monster you control, and if you do, negate that opponent's monster's effect. If Visas is on the field, you can destroy the targeted monster. During your main phase, if a Veda monster is on the field, banish this card from your grave, destroy a monster you control. This card I don't think is great. It's not bad. It's basically like a worse impermanence that can be better if you have Visas on the field. Then, but I don't know. Don't like that. It's like if you can search it. If you can search it for free, maybe you play one, but that's all. Sarv Sarga, normal trap. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If Visas is on the field, target an effect monster on the field, shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do during the end phase of this turn, its owner can add one monster from their deck to their hand with them. You know what my biggest problem with a lot of these spell cards is? And trap cards? And I find this so stupid. It's like Visa Starfrost. Visa Starfrost is not a card that you want to keep on the field. The entire idea of all those decks is you use Visa Starfrost to make other cards. Right? Like, all of the entire concept of all of those Visa Starfrost decks is link it away, synchro it away, do whatever, you know. Get the Visas off the field. You know, you have a fusion monster that needs it in the graveyard. You don't want to keep a Visa Starfrost at the end of your combo. That's not the point of the deck. And like, it's just like you don't want to have it. There is a level 8 synchro that counts as Visas. I know, but still, it's like I don't really get that. You know, why not have it like if you control a card that mentions Visa Starfrost or something like that? Then we would look at all those cards in a completely different way. Or if Visa Starfrost is in your graveyard or banished or something like that. Or reveal one in your hand or something like that. Or send one from your deck to the graveyard. Just something that makes sure you're playing a Visa Starfrost deck, right? But not actually require you to have it on the board. I don't love that. See? You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. Banish a face-up Visa Starfrost you control until the end phase. Special summon a heart monster with 3000 attack from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. But it can only activate its effect once. Also banish it face down during the end phase. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this card's in your grave, add this card to your hand. Cool. Now I can summon a Rise Heart in every Visa Starfrost deck if I keep a Rise Heart. If I keep Visa Starfrost on the board. Cringe. Or Kaleido Heart, yeah. A trap card that tags Visa Starfrost into Kaleido Heart was not on my wish list. I'm gonna be honest with you.